It is chilly out. It's 3 degrees outside. You know it's cold when your nose hairs stick together and your eyes water and turns to ice. Welcome back to Whitehouse Farm. What we're doing today is bringing this log splitter into where it's warm in the shed there. And we're gonna do maintenance and possibly put a new carb on it. So let's go ahead and get this in there. I can't even breathe, it's so cold out. And get to work. Much warmer in here. Huh. It's like 85 degrees in here. Now we just gotta wait for the ice to melt down. Yeah, it's frozen. It is freezing out. Alright, we'll come back when it's thawed out. Alright, so finally got all the ice off of it. There was probably 2 inches thick ice all around this whole thing. So now we can actually get to it and start working on it. So it wasn't starting, and sure enough, I'm thinking it's carburetor. One thing I want to do here, you see how cold it is. I got the heat on, it's still going. We're gonna go ahead and replace this fuel line. It's definitely seen better days. And it's worth it just to do that. And we're also going to go ahead and throw a inline filter on here, which is what I should have done a long time ago. That's what I do with a lot of my carbureted stuff now. I make sure that I throw a fuel filter on there, just because junk does get down in here and then it just clogs up your carburetor and just ruins your day, where you could change out a $3 filter instead of having to take your carburetor apart and clean it or replace it. So we can go ahead and try and start this, but I don't think it's going to start. I'll just go ahead and show you, and then we'll start ripping into this thing. You turn it on, put the choke on, and there's a little bit of gas in there. We will drain it and then flush it with some new gas, some non-ethanol gas. Yep, nothing. And I noticed some stuff coming out of there. Yeah, all types of stuff's falling out, so I think the mice may have even made a nest somewhere up in here. Not too sure. You can see all the stuff on the ground. And a couple years back I did replace the hydraulic pump and did a tune-up on it, and I did something else. Oh, the new tires. I had new tires put on it, but that was a while ago. So let's go ahead and turn this off, put the choke off. Let's go ahead and take this off and start draining the fuel out. Okay, so now that we got this all cleaned out and we got our new fuel line here, let's go ahead and get this on here. We're gonna use, this is 12 mil, so we're gonna need a couple of these, and we're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna go ahead and put in another fuel stop and we're going to put in a fuel filter. This way you can go ahead and shut the fuel off, change the fuel filter, and not have it pouring out at you if you do have fuel in there. Let's go ahead and get one of these on here, and I'll leave a link in the description for all this stuff. So we'll put that on there, and then hook this up. Alright, that's all the way on there. Let's go ahead and get this on. That's on there now. We want to put this in. That's for flow, and then that's to cut the flow off. So let's put this in right about here. Alright, once again, put another clamp on there. Slide this on. Clamp down. It's on there. So now we got our new fuel line on, and this is for open. And now when we want to change out the fuel filter, instead of gas just pouring out while we're trying to do that, we can just turn that off, and then we can also cut the gas over here with the one that came on it. And cut that off. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the air filter off here. Too bad. Alright. Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. Like I said, we did this a while ago, did a tune-up on it and everything. Alright, let's go ahead and get these off. I believe these are 10 mil. Alright, so what we want to do is disconnect the air hose right there. That little piece right there. Alright, and that whole piece comes off. Now we can go ahead and turn the carburetor and pull this out. Go ahead and open it up and take a look. Alright, you can see all the junk in there. Yeah. Let's try and clean it out and see if we can get to work. Well, I can tell this is the problem right here. This should be able to turn, and it is frozen solid up. It won't even turn, won't budge. I'll show you what I mean here. When you're looking at it, look at it. See how that easily turns? Well, that is jammed, rusted solid in there. Look at it, I'm barely touching this thing, and that's how it's moving. That's how it should be. This thing won't even budge. So that's our problem right there. That's the reason this thing won't start. I mean, luckily we got another one here. I will still try and break this loose and work it and get this working, because it's always good to have a second carburetor. But we can throw this new one on for now and see how she runs. And I'll leave a link in the description for these. Soak this with a little PB Blast. We'll come back to that. Alright, so I got this thing, got both sides freed up really nice. Look at that. That's how it should be. PB Blast, it works wonders. So let's go ahead and put this back together, and let's see if she fires up now that she's all cleaned out. One last part to clean out, and we're all set. Go ahead and put our floating pin back in. Alright, we got our floating needle in. Now we'll put the connector pin here. There we go. Now we put the bowl on. Alright. So that's all back together now. Might need a new gasket here. We'll find out soon enough. But look at that. And before, I couldn't even move that without using a wrench or a set of pliers. It's all freed up and cleaned out. Let's go ahead and get it back on. This piece, the spring is going to go on the outside, and the rod is going to go, there, I gotta move this a little bit. The rod's going to go in the other hole. Yep. And then your other choke is going to come here, and it's going to push through. And same thing. Now we're going to put this back in here. Gonna seat it just like that. And we'll go ahead and run our bolts through to hold the carburetor into place, and then we can hook up the air box. Alright. Now we go ahead and run our second bolt through. Alright, now we can go ahead and tighten that back up. Okay, one last thing is to hook the fuel line back up to the carburetor at the bottom there. Alright, so I got the new air filter here, and it actually came with the outside part as well, which this one didn't have. Just another layer of protection. So, open this up. Alright, and this is just going to sit in here. Just like that. Getting it dirty before I can even use it. Okay. Alright. And then this is just going to go right in here. Let me go ahead and pop this back on. There we go. Alright, so the fuel system is all done now. Up to the carburetor, fuel lines, fuel filter. And we'll be able to put some fresh non-ethanol gas in here. But first, let's go ahead and change out the spark plug as well on this. Alright, and there's our new spark plug. Go ahead and throw that in. Alright, so we got the new spark plug in there. Let's go ahead and get back behind here and let's check the oil. Last thing you want to do is run it without oil. That'd be really bad. And it's right up to the line. And I changed this out not too long ago too, so. Alright, so oil looks good. Let's go ahead and check our hydraulic oil in here too, make sure that we're at level. Five-eighths. Oh, jeez. Sucker's on there good. Alright. Yep, and we're right at max for cold. And you can see it down in there. Well, maybe you can't. I can. Alright, so we're good there. So oil looks good. Hydraulic oil looks good. New spark plug. New fuel lines. Cleaned out carburetor. Fixed the sticking carburetor. Pretty sure that that's what it was the whole time. I mean, it was dirty in there too, but so. Alright, last thing to do, let's go ahead and get some fresh non-ethanol gas in here and see if she fires up. We'll go ahead and open that up. And we should start to see fuel coming down. And we'll open up this one as well. Yep, see the fuel coming in. Turn this on. Put the choke on. Choke on, it's on. Got fuel in there. We don't see any leaks, that's most important. Double check everything, make sure nothing's leaking. Now let's go ahead and pull start this thing and see if she fires up. More stuff flying out. And there it goes. Awesome. Let me go ahead and turn this one too. And then we'll put this in the off position. Well, there you have it. We are all set here. Log splitter is good to go now. And we do have that other carburetor for future, just in case something messes up with this one. But that's kind of a relief to be able to fix it like that. I mean, that thing was stuck hard. You saw with the pliers, I couldn't even turn it. But also needed a really good cleaning. I mean, it's been a long time since I actually did the carburetor on this thing. Did a bunch of other stuff, but haven't taken the carburetor off and cleaned it out, gave it a good cleaning. Yeah, you see it works good. It's splitting wood. That's what we needed to do. So, there you go. And now we also have our fuel filter on the fuel line there. So when junk and debris drops down there, an accident gets in there like it does with any other carbureted machine. I mean, that's the worst enemy of carburetors is when stuff gets into the fuel. If you don't have a inline fuel filter, it'll go right in your carburetor and clog it up and it won't work. But yeah, I'm glad to have this back in action again. So, all right guys. Once again, we hope you like, enjoy, subscribe, and as always, we'll see you on the next one. Bye guys. You can't say goodbye without saying goodbye to me. All right, Olaf. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye, Obo. Bye, guys.